The biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The WPT is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With millions of dollars on the line, it's time for these 6 players to live the dream of fame, fortune, and the one thing money can't buy, a WPT title. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
From Northern California, 6 players take aim at $1 million and a WPT title. The Bay 101 shooting star is about to begin, so shuffle up and deal.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Sexton, along with Vince Van Patten, and this is the WPT. Tonight, we welcome you to Northern California, where the final table of the $3.6 million Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament is about to begin.
That's right, Mike. And ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most fun and most lucrative poker tournaments in the world, bar none. And that is because all the players get a chance to knock off bounties. Now, bounties are big-name poker stars that if you knock them off, not only do you get bragging rights at your home game, and, you know, that's a lot of fun, but you also get $5,000 cold, hard cash. Not too bad. Now, if the stars are aligned properly, who knows, maybe you'll make the final table, go on and take home the title and the $1 million that goes along with it.
Well, Vince, that's just what the 376 pros and amateurs were dreaming about when they ponied up the $10,000 buy-in for this event 4 days ago. We're now down to just 6 players, but all of them still have dreams of taking down this title.
That's right, Mike. And the big name right now, he's the chip leader, is Brandon Cantu, 26 years old. Now, he's already knocked off 5 bounties. How do you like that? And he's going after his 6th, our lone bounty, sitting at the final table. That is the very spectacular Jennifer Harmon.
Well, capturing Jennifer's bounty is not going to be easy because Jennifer Harmon is one of the top poker players in the world, regardless of gender.
That's right. Now, we also, along with them, have 3 very aggressive professional players and 1 lone amateur looking to take home that $1 million.
Nearly all the stars have been put to bed, but one of these remaining players is going to shoot into orbit with the $1 million first-place prize. Who's it going to be?
All right, only one way to find out. Let's go watch him gamble. Right now, the chip leader's Brandon Cantu, $3.3 million. Michael Baker, the amateur player, over $1.9 million. And Johnny, the Razor fan, the short stack with $374,000. Here we go. Andy's 1,000. Blinds 4 and 8,000. Action going to John Fan.
Well, he is a tough pro player.
That's cheating.
Okay, been playing poker 17 years. But lays this hand down.
Yes, he does. Brandon Cantu, the chip leader, also going out.
That's around to Steve Sung. We saw him earlier this season in Spain where he made the final table.
Well, he's folded his king deuce, and now Jennifer Harmon with just a lousy 9-3 here.
She doesn't bluff.
I'm talking about me. I'm trying to make myself not.
She is reaching for chips like she's going to raise it here, and she does. Makes it 22,000 to go with absolutely nothing.
Zip and Pip. Can she bust out these blinds? Yes. Michael Baker folding. Now Noah Jefferson with a 9-7 of diamonds in the big blind.
And he's got one of those hands you like to see a flop with.
You got it.
But he lays it down. So Jennifer Harmon getting respect from the 2 blinds.
Is it going to be like that every time?
Playing very aggressive and taking down pot number 1.
What a little pickpocket you are, Jennifer.
Well, Vince, I'll be honest, I'm surprised she stole that pot. I thought Noah Jefferson should have called with the 9-7 of diamonds, because if you don't defend your big blind with hands like that, top players are just going to mow you down.
All right, back to the table. Michael Baker, the amateur player, quickly folding. Noah Jefferson also going out.
Around to the razor, John Fan, the top pro player, looks down at a Queen-9 of spade.
33 years old, out of Vietnam originally. Well, he's raised this to 24,000 to go. And now the chip leader, Brandon Cantu.
Sure, we raised last time.
He is going to play here.
There you go.
With a 6-deuce offsuit, he's in position on the button, got a mountain of chips.
Steve Sung going out. Jennifer Harmon wants no part of it, so 2-way action here.
Just incredible to me that a guy would call a raise with a 6-deuce offsuit.
Well, he's got $3.3 million in front. Why not? There's chump change with this guy. Here's the flop.
9-8-7, 2 clubs. John Fan has flopped top pair. Brandon Cantu has flopped an open-end straight draw.
That's right. John Phan's coming out to bet $24,000.
Well, it's not that big a bet into a pot. It's got $66,000 in it.
Raise.
Well, Brandon doesn't call with his open-end straight draw. He comes right over the top with it. Makes it $75,000 to go. He's raising with some outs, but he's drawn to what we call the sucker end of the open-end straight. If a 10 comes up, it's still very dangerous for you, even though you have a straight. And if it happens to be the 10 of clubs or 5 of clubs, you're scared because there's a possible flush draw out there.
John Phan doesn't have that much chips left. I mean, he is the short stack at the table. He's going to be risking a lot if he should make this call and stay involved here in this hand.
John Phan, nicknamed the Razor. Better be careful we don't cut his wrist right here, Vince. But he's made the call, so he is not going anywhere, at least just yet. He has the best hand with 2 9s, but let's see what develops.
Okay, turn card.
Well, a 6 comes off, so now there's a 4-card open-ended straight on the board. And that's a card that neither player is really going to like to see because you're going to be fearful your opponent has made a straight.
Well, John Phan in first position, and he checks it.
Well, Brandon has made a pair of 6s now, but...
Oh, but Brandon is not going to slow down. He is going to bet $75,000.
He's got the razor in the vise, and now he's starting to turn the handle.
Oh, boy. Head is in the vise here. Getting squeezed.
Well, it's very obvious he doesn't have it straight as long as he takes, so... He shows the 2 9s and lays it down.
And look at Brandon Cantu, who has knocked out 5 bounties up here at Bay 101, casually taken in this pot.
I was gonna wait to move on if the 10 doesn't come.
Brandon Cantu picks up that pot, and Vince, you see the pressure that he puts on these players. He's been the dominating player all week long at this tournament, and right there, you get a glimpse of why.
6 players remain here at the Bay 101 Shooting Star event. We're coming back in just a moment. Stay with us.
I've been kind of nicknamed just recently. People have been telling me I'm the bounty hunter. And the 5 bounties I've knocked out are Phil Locke, Bill Edler, J.C. Tran, John Jawanda, and Joe Hatcher.
Take them out of my face, man.
I like my chances of taking out Jen Harmon. Hopefully it happens. I need a 6-pack of T-shirts.
Hello, Mr. Cunningham. Alan, it's a big pot out there, buddy. I'm all in. Don't be scared.
I call.
Only a donkey would make that call.
We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
The Bay 101 Shooting Star. Players all love to come here because the fans are the best in the world. And it's about the bounties here if you bust one of these star players. We give away $5,000 in cash, plus a T-shirt. Players do not usually like signing their T-shirts because it means they're out of the tournament, but sometimes they're good about it.
You want me to do it?
Everybody tries to make the World Poker Tour final table and win that $1 million prize, and hopefully one day become a shooting star themselves.
Welcome back to the WPT. The Bay 101 Shooting Star continues. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton. 6 players remain. And Mike, this is a great event.
Well, there's no question about it. We still have 1 bounty left in this tournament. That's Jennifer Harmon.
Yeah, in the audience tonight, J.C. Tran, a great player.
Well, the WPT Player of the Year last season on the World Poker Tour.
Yeah.
And WPT champ Nan Lee. These guys traveled the circuit with Steve Sung. So they're here watching him perform tonight.
All right, back to the table. And this time, Brandon looking down at a 7-6.
Did you hit the flop?
Offsuit.
Did I see the flop? Did you hit the flop?
He's played very impressively so far at this final table. Here he limps in under the gun. Right behind him, Steve Sung coming in with a Jack-10 of spade.
Yep, Jennifer Harmon going out. And now, Arizona amateur Michael Baker also folding.
Round to Noah Jefferson. Now he looks down at ace-queen offsuit, but he just calls, does not raise out of the small blind, so certainly Noah taking the conservative approach early on at this final table.
John Phan with a king deuce in the
He's
big
happy
blind.
to get a free flop here.
Yep.
And here comes that flop. Oh, it's come king, queen, 8, all diamonds. Good flop for Noah Jefferson as he's flopped 2 queens and the nut flush draw, but checks.
John Fan, top pair of kings. See what he does with it.
Well, he is going to check. Action is on Brandon, and he checks. Well, Steve checks right here as well.
And here's the turn card. A 9 of spades comes off.
Noah again checks.
John Fan also checking.
Brandon checking also. So Steve Sung out in front right now with a king high straight. He bets 20,000.
Noah Jefferson behind him with the big flush draw has called it. Now action's on the Razor Fan.
Well, John's got top pair. He's calling 2.
Out goes Brandon Cantu. So three-way action still going to the river.
You guys all checked and called? Clear the board.
The Razor drawing completely dead. Going to slit his wrist on this hand. Well, the deuce of diamonds comes off.
Noah Jefferson hits the cinch at this point.
And he makes the nut flush, and he leads out and bets 80,000. But notice this is giving the Razor top and bottom pair. He's got 2 pair now.
Don't go right home about that one when you have 4 diamonds out there.
That was like the worst river card.
No, this is instant muck, in my opinion.
Yep. John Fan does lay his hand down.
So sick.
Steve Sung has a straight.
That's all you were drawing to, by the way.
Remember that. But he lays it down. Gives Noah credit for having a hand, and that's a good read on his part because, indeed, Noah had the nut flush, the best hand possible.
So I flopped so big.
Both of you guys had a diamond. It's
I
like,
flopped so big, it's ridiculous.
that was the only thing you're drawing to. There's nothing else you could have got. It won the pot.
Turn, do you make it on turn? You make a 10-jack?
I was straight.
We could have played a big pot, but I decided not to.
Can't play that big of a pot. I mean, there's 3 diamonds in the flop.
Well, Noah Jefferson taking down that pot.
Well, he's played in a number of WPT events, taking a very conservative route so far at this final table.
All right, back to the table. Michael Baker quickly folding. Noah Jefferson also out. And now the Razor Fan. He's got ace-6.
And he's also got the extreme short stack at this final table. So this not normally a hand you're crazy about in this situation, but John is going to raise it up here. Makes it 22,000 to go.
And his old nemesis, the chip leader, Mr. Cantu with Queen 7 of clubs, is going to call it.
Well, Brandon is what we call a player. He's not waiting for the premium hands to play pots. He's just looking to play and try to earn the pots and take them away from opponents later.
Now Steve has gone out. Jennifer Harmon now with King 9 of diamonds. Already has money in there.
Well, Vince, there's 62,000 in the pot. Going to cost Jennifer 14,000 to make the call. So obviously she's getting a great price to make this call. And she does make the call. So we're going to have 3-way action here.
Jennifer's going to be first to act.
Well, here comes the flop. Flop is Queen 5 deuce. Brandon out in front with 2 queens. Action on Jennifer.
Yep.
She checks.
Nothing hitting for Jennifer. And now John Fan with just the ace high. Will he make the continuation bet?
Well, if he bets here, it's just in hopes that neither one of these people have hit a queen on the flop. And he's going to bet 25,000.
Yes, he does.
Not a big bet into a pot that's got over 75,000 in it, but enough where he might get a message that he's looking for. And here it comes as Brandon makes the call.
Yep.
Well, Jennifer goes out.
Jack of hearts on the turn.
John Fan is going to fire again.
Oh, boy.
He's going to bet 35,000 here.
Got to respect the guts of John Fan.
It's a very small bet into a pot that's got over 125,000 in it. It's what we call a post-oak bluff, a small bet into a big pot. And Brandon has set enough chips out there where John, the Razor Fan, would be all in if he makes this call.
Mr. Cantu raising the cantaloupes on this one, coming over the top, and this is just a complete debacle if you're the Razor Fan. Oh, boy. And he's got to lay this down.
So once again, the chip leader raises a pot and takes it down.
Oh, sick. And
You have to admire the fact that John Fan is trying to take pots away from Brandon Cantu, but just can't do it. Right now, Brandon is catching when he needs to and making moves when he has to. The dominating chip leader at this final table.
And if you look at the Razor Fan right now, he's not saying anything, but you can actually fry an egg on his head because he's steaming, he's hot, he's bothered, and it's all because of Mr. Cantu on his left.
Well, right now, his razor blade is a little rusty then.
All right, action to John Fan, quickly folding his hand. And now the 26-year-old Brandon Cantu. Mr. Lucky at the table tonight so far with a 10 deuce of clubs.
Well, that's the famous Doyle Brunson hand, the 10 deuce suited. Maybe he thinks he's Doyle in this pot. Going to make it 30,000 to go.
Steve, I've sung one too many has gone out. And now Jennifer Harmon with the wired pair of sixes here, Mike.
She's got the 2 6s. She's got position.
She's got the button.
Now you know she's going to play the hand, man. She's contemplating whether to raise or not.
Brandon peeking over there, watching her every move.
Well, Jennifer sitting in 5th chip position right now. What's she going to do with the 2 6s? She opts to just call with the 2 6s on the button.
Very interesting. And now Michael Baker, the Arizona amateur. Family man with a pair of 3s here.
Well, he wants to see a flop as well. I don't blame him for that. I'd have called too with the 2 3s.
Noah Jefferson still involved. He has a jack deuce of hearts, but he folds it. So 3-way action.
How can he fold? He's in the big blind.
He's folded it.
Well, I told you he's playing conservative. Wow. All right, here comes the flop.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's come 9-6-4 with 2 clubs.
Jennifer flopping a set there.
But Brandon has flopped a flush draw. Action on Michael, he checks.
Brandon on the 4 flush, gonna come out and bet 100,000. Could be party time here for Jennifer. 3 of a kind on the flop.
Now, Vince, because there's a potential flush and a potential straight draw on the flop, be very surprised if Jennifer doesn't raise it here. And I say that because you wouldn't want small blind coming into a pot and making some kind of draw on you to beat you in this pot if you had 3 of a kind. So let's see what Jennifer's going to do. And if Jennifer calls this 100,000, she's got a little less than 350,000 left.
I'm on.
She does go all in right here.
Over the top, all
wow, here you go. Well, Michael quickly going out.
How much more?
And Brandon Cantu with the 4 flush.
Well, Vince, everything has worked for this guy so far tonight.
An additional $348,000.
Well, he's trying to calculate the pot odds. Does he want to gamble here?
Oh, boy.
Jen, I want that bounty.
Jennifer Harmon, not the kind of player you want to double up at a final table, I can tell you that.
I forgot I was a bounty.
I might just take a shot right here.
For 5,000?
Yeah, I want the 5,000 bounty. I think I'm going to take a shot.
You can't win every
I call.
You call?
Well, Brandon makes the call. He's going to gamble here. She's not really happy to see he's got a draw that could beat her. She was hoping he had a pair. So Jennifer out in front with the 3 6s.
Oh, no club.
She's got to dodge a club here. Of course, the 9 of clubs is not going to help Brandon.
Take care of the board.
A monster pot right here.
I feel a club. I've been walking on water a little bit.
Her tournament
lately.
life on the line right here. She's well out in front with the 3 6s, but still, you hold your breath when your opponent's got a hand that can beat you. But with the amount of chips that he has, you know, why not take a shot, try to take out the great Jennifer Harmon?
Here comes the turn card. It's a 10 of diamonds.
Even though Brandon's made a pair of 10s, it's worthless. He's got to catch a club that's not the 9 of clubs to win this pot and eliminate Jennifer Harmon.
All right.
Jennifer in great shape with 1 card to go. She can't watch. She turns her head away.
Here comes the river card.
The whole crowd on their feet. And a 9 comes up. Jennifer's made a full house. And look at her. She's like a little Cupid doll, Vince. Throwing her arms up in the air, jumping up and down.
Oh, yes. So excited.
The sweat for this hand is over. She stays alive by making a full house. Doubles up.
Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action on the WPT.
The thrill of the game is calling your name. Come play with us at WPT on GSN.com.
I've been a fan of the World Poker Tour since its inception, and I decided that at some point I was going to come and play in this event. I've been a big fan for a long time, and I have fantasized, dreamed, whatever you want to say about becoming a WPT champion, but the fact that I have a 1 in 6 chance right now, it's pretty intense.
Welcome back to the WPT. The Bay 101 shooting star continues. 6 players. Jennifer Harmon just doubling up right there. And right now, the chip leader still is Brandon Cantu, the 26-year-old player. He's got about $3.2 million in chips.
The amateur, Michael Baker, in second chip position with $1.7 million. With that last pot, Jennifer crosses the $1 million chip.
John Fan now, extreme short stack. Morphine dripping right now with down to 71,000. Action's going to be on him. This time he looks down at a queen, 8 of diamonds, and is he going to set it all in here? Fake like he was for a second.
Vince, he's on the extreme short stack.
There it goes.
Got to make a move soon. He's doing it right here. Moves all in for 70,000.
Well, he's got to be lucky because Brandon has gone out. That has been his main nemesis. Steve Sung now with an ace-9, though.
Can you count?
Oh, boy. What's a count?
670. 70,000.
He's contemplating what to do here. So John Fan actually pitching the all-in button over at Steve Sung.
Let's go. I might call you.
Actually, you can take an eye out with that thing.
Well, Steve would like to make this call, but recognizes he's got 3 players still to act behind him.
And look at Steve Sung's shirt. Yes, we.
It says can. Yes, we can.
All right, that's positive thinking for him, huh?
Well, he opts to lay down the ace-9.
And now Jennifer Harmon. Lousy Jack-4 folds.
Round to Michael Baker. An amateur to table, playing in his first ever WPT event. He goes out as well.
Only one to beat is going to be Noah Jefferson, but he's got a pair of 6s and has made the call.
So John Fan has 2 overcards versus the underpair.
Good luck, dude. You gotta win hand.
John, the Razor Fan, the man that's played 57 WPT events.
I actually feel good for you this hand.
Yeah.
Do you?
That feels good, too.
Made close to 700,000 in those events. He's a great player, but just not being able to shine here so far this evening. Can he suck out here? Here's the flop.
Well, it's come king, 3 deuce with 2 clubs. So the 2 6s still out in front. Jennifer Harmon just doubled up with 2 6s. Can Noah Jefferson win this spot and eliminate a player with 2 6s?
Here comes the turn card.
6. Well, the 6 comes off. Noah's made 3 6s. That's going to do it for the tough poker pro, John Fan. Now, Vince, he took that big hit earlier tonight, this final table against Brandon. Never recovered from that. Came to the final table in 6-chip position and goes out in 6th place.
Yeah, he is a great player. Johnny Fan, his second time on a World Poker Tour final table, has to say goodbye. He's going to pick up $135,000.
Well, John, one of the good guys in the poker world, gives 20% of his winnings to charities in Vietnam, but he's going to have to hold off to another time to take down his first WPT title.
No card. Card dead.
Noah Jefferson, the guy who grew up in this area, here he is at a WPT final table, going for the gold tonight.
My game plan doesn't change now that I'm at the final table. I'm still going to play selectively aggressive. I'm going to try and play the same as I've played the whole time.
It's a hard. Noah Jefferson has won the pot.
I'm going to try and dance with the girl that brought me.
So 5 players left fighting it out for that coveted WPT title and the $1 million first place prize.
That is right, Mike. 1 player already dismissed here at the Bay 101, and right now it's going to be on the amateur from Arizona, Michael Baker. He's got king 3 of diamonds.
So brutal to me, the things he says at the table.
Well, he's going to raise it up under the gun here. Comes in for 25,000.
Yep, Noah Jefferson going to fold his hand. And now it's into Brandon Cantu, and look at this. He's picked up the weapons of mass destruction. Pair of aces.
You don't understand? I mean, a lot of people don't, but...
For the first time tonight, he's picked up a legitimate starting hand. In fact, the best hand possible. The 2 aces. He comes over the top and makes it 75,000 to go.
Steve Sung quickly folding his hand. Jennifer wants no part of it, so back around to Michael.
Well, Michael made a stab at this pot with the king 3. Action's back on him. Recognize these are the 2 chip leaders involved in this pot. He looks like he's getting out some raisin chips.
He's getting more chips out.
You could think about coming over the top here with just a king and a 3.
He is going to come over the top.
Unbelievable, Vince. He's bet 200,000 here. Michael Baker, 40 years old. Married with 2 children, and his wife, Whitney, in the house tonight watching him.
Arizona man has misread his man, Brandon. Well, because he looks like he's just trying to push him around. He's got the button. He's involved in every hand, so you think the guy's trying to steal from you, so you're coming back over the top. But this time, Brandon Cantu with the mother of all poker hands, pair of aces.
Hard to just call when your opponent's raised you back. Maybe he's got two kings in this situation. You could get all his chips if you raise him right here. And he's done it. He's making it a $500,000 straight here.
He's saying, I've got the goods.
And Vince, if you're sitting in Michael Baker's seat and you've played much poker at all, it's just flashing lights that say 2 aces, 2 aces, 2 aces, and he should now say goodbye.
Yeah, this is pretty elementary. You got to put the guy on kings or aces for sure. Got to think maybe that you got to put up the white flag and say, I'll fight another time.
If he's raising you here, he's got 2 aces. There's no other hand he can raise with. He would call with 2 jacks or 2 queens, might call with an ace-king. In my view, he can only raise with aces in this situation, possibly kings, but either one of those hands are death to a king 3.
Well, this disaster can get even worse if Michael Baker decides to stick around. This is a hefty re-raise, another $300,000.
He's staring down at all his chips like he's thinking about making a move for all of them. If he does that, he could well be moving out the door, heading back to Arizona. This is his first ever WPT event. He's made it to this final table. He's going to make the call here. So the 2 chip leaders going at it big time right now.
What do you have left?
Here comes a flop. Oh, it's come queen 10 deuce with 2 diamonds. Michael Baker has flopped a flush draw. Brandon has the 2 aces. Wow.
Michael Baker quickly checking it.
How much do you have left?
And now Brandon's saying how much you got left. These are the 2 chip leaders going at it.
Yeah, about 1.2.
Well, the queen's a little bit of a scare card, and I say that because there's a possibility that Michael could have 2 queens in this situation where he would have flopped 3 queens, but never in a million years is Brandon going to put him on a king 3 of diamonds. It would be about the last hand he'd suspect the guy would have in this situation.
I'm all in.
Well, Brandon not going to fool around anymore with this guy. He's just setting him all in right now.
He's saying if you got 3 queens, he got me beat. And obviously Brandon feels good. He knows his man can't have 3 queens. Otherwise, it would be automatic.
Can you spread the pot a little bit?
Well, Vince, you put a $500,000 in before the flop. With a king and a 3, you flopped the flush draw. What do you do now?
Well, he's had so many chips. He is deep into the disaster here right now.
Well, Vince, in my view, you know a king can't be any good. You have to assume he's got to make a flush to win this hand. He was in good second chip position when this hand started. If he calls here, he'll either be the monster chip leader or out of here in 5th place.
It's true. It could be hero time for Michael Baker.
There you see his wife, Whitney, sitting on the sideline. She doesn't know what she wants her man to do here.
He's in the computer business, living out of Glendale, Arizona.
He loves the World Poker Tour. Said he watches every show. But the way he's played this hand, at least so far, you have to wonder if he watches it with the sound on.
All right, let's gamble, buddy. I call.
He's made the call. He has done it. Wow. He says, let's gamble. He's making the call with the flush draw. Brandon can't believe that this guy called that raise before the flop. And he's going to be in shock if a diamond comes up. Now, notice if 2 diamonds comes up, Brandon will make a bigger flush. So Michael needs exactly 1 diamond to come up, or 2 running cards to make a straight, or a running combination of a king and a 3 twice.
Biggest pot of the night at the Bay 101. Stay tuned. We're coming back with the conclusion in just a moment. We are back here on the World Poker Tour, and what a pot we have. Biggest one of the night. Brandon Cantu, the chip leader, out in front with aces, but the amateur player with 4 diamonds. Can he get lucky?
Well, $3.5 million in this pot. If Brandon wins, he'll be a commanding chip leader. Here comes the turn card. Michael Baker looking for a flush. He doesn't get it there.
The turn is not good. It's a 5 of spades.
We are off to the river. Michael Baker, the amateur from Arizona, must catch a diamond to stay alive in this tournament. Let's see if he can do it. Everybody on their feet. He doesn't. The 5 of clubs comes off. So that's going to do it for the amateur from Arizona.
Just like that, Michael Baker out in 5th place. He's going to take home $200,000.
Well, Vince, we questioned his call before the flop. How can you call a re-raise in that situation? You can't blame him for taking a stab at the pot, coming back over the top.
Yep.
But to call a $300,000 bet with just a king and a 3 when you figure to be up against ace or kings just doesn't make sense.
All right, let's gamble, buddy. I call.
He flopped the flush draw. It turned out to be his doom.
However, who knows? He could have gotten lucky, hit the 4 flush, makes his flush, and he's the hero of the night.
I didn't expect King 3 of diamonds.
Well, 2 of these remaining 4 players have been at the WPT final table before. That's Steve Sung and Jennifer Harmon. The other 2 here for the first time, but Brandon Cantu making the best of it. He is the whopping chip leader right now with over $5 million in chips.
Noah Jefferson, 942. Jennifer Harmon with 931,000. And Steve Sung has about 580. Actually, the blinds have gone up to 5 and 10,000. Action going to Jennifer Harmon. And in first position, this time she looks down at an ace-4 offsuit.
Jennifer plays a lot of short-handed poker. She's very good at it. She's going to raise it up here with the ace-4 offsuit. Comes in for $30,000.
Noah Jefferson goes out. Now Brandon Cantu with a suited connector, 7-8 of diamonds.
Now, certainly he's going to call with that hand, and why not, the way he's running tonight.
Steve Sung goes out, so two-way action. 8-7 of diamonds up against ace-4.
Well, here comes the flop. It's come Jack 7 deuce with 2 spades. So Brandon out in front right now with the 2 sevens. Action's on him. He checks.
Jennifer not hitting there on that flop.
Well, will she take the free card off, or will she make the continuation bet? She's opting for the continuation bet. She bets $50,000. Got burned the last time she did this against Brandon when he check raised her. Well, Brandon check raised her again.
Oh boy.
Well, he didn't check raise, but he does make the call with the 2 sevens. Oh, the ace comes off on the turn. Jennifer Harmon now out in front with the 2 aces. Well, Brandon checks.
Just a nice solid card hitting Jennifer right there, getting her aces.
Probably going to put him on a straight draw or a flush draw or a small pair here, so doesn't want to give him a free card that could beat her. She's going to fire again. Bets $100,000, and a nice bet it is.
Now back on Brandon, the way he's running tonight, he's probably thinking, well, even if I'm beat at this point, perhaps I'll get lucky. Something great could happen. I can knock out Jennifer.
Well, he's reaching for a lot of chips, Vince.
Uh-oh.
He didn't check raise on the flop. Now he's at a guess as to whether she's got the hand or not. He does make the call for $100,000 here. So he compounds his problems. Now a deuce comes off. That's a card Jennifer's probably going to like because it gives her aces and deuces with a jack kicker.
Action back on Brandon. He quickly checks it.
Well, Jennifer a little fearful that he could have had a pair of deuces on the flop where it would have made 3 deuces here. She's going to check it down.
You can't take the pressure.
I got a 7.
So Jennifer's going to win this pot with aces up. And Vince, last week we saw Van Wyn become the first woman to ever win out here in the World Poker Tour. Could we see women do it in back-to-back weeks?
I think I started playing poker when I was 8. I'm not really sure. It could have been earlier, but I think it was around 8. My success was not instant. It was a challenge for me because I really liked the game and I wanted to beat it. So it pushed me harder to study and try to get better at the game. My health is great. It's excellent. I've been dealing with kidney stuff since I was a kid. I've been in life-threatening situations, and it's definitely changed my outlook. I don't ever worry about the small stuff. I just try to live life for the fullest in anything I do.
Here in Las Vegas, one of the great high-limit players in the world, Jennifer Harmon.
It's definitely an honor. It makes me feel good for people to think that I'm one of the best poker players in the world. But the way I feel is I'm still doing my homework and I'm still putting in table hours. I want to be the best poker player in the world, and I'm working at getting there. But I don't feel like I'm there yet.
Well, there you get a closer look at Jennifer Harmon, well respected by all players in the poker community.
Can't beat you in a pot.
That's a good thing.
It's unreal how lucky she gets.
Stay with us. 4 players remain here at the Bay 101, and we're coming back with more action in just a moment.
The WPT champion is right now what I actually want more than anything else. When I hear my name announced and going out on the WPT stage, this is the whole reason why you play poker. I still dream about this, like the holy grail of the poker player right here. This is where you want to be. It's just an amazing feeling.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. You're watching the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament. 4 players left fighting it out for a WPT title and a cool $1 million in cash.
Potential millionaire in our midst here at the Bay 101. But right now, Brandon Cantu, the 26-year-old, he's out in front with about, well, close to $5 million. Action goes to him.
Well, he looks down at the computer hand, a Queen 7 offsuit. It's called the computer hand because it's 50-50 against any random 2-card hand, whether it'll win the pot or not.
You know, Mike, I was reading Brandon's bio on the internet to find out more about him, and guess what? His favorite hand is Queen 7 offsuit.
Well, Vince, if you go to WPT on GSN.com, you can find out a lot of stats about all the great players we have out here in the World Poker Tour.
Right behind him, Steve Sung with a King 10 has called it. Well, Jennifer also with a computer hand, but she's going to fold it.
Noah out as well. So here we go. Flop comes ace, king, jack with 2 diamonds. Brandon has flopped a straight draw. Steve Sung has second pair and a straight draw.
Action on Brandon. How's your favorite hand now, Brandon? He checks it.
See if Steve's going to bet behind him.
No, he checks as well.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get check raised here. He likes his kings. He likes the gut shot straight draw. Action back on Brandon as the deuce of clubs comes on the turn. Will he fire now?
No, they both check again.
Oh, the 10 of clubs comes off. Steve has made 2 pair, but unfortunately for him, Brandon has caught a straight.
Of course, he's got his favorite hand. With your favorite hand, you usually get lucky. And he has gotten lucky. He has a straight, and he's coming out to bet it.
And he's going to bet $60,000. Steve Sung, even though he made 2 pair with that card, not happy to see it because there's a potential 4-card straight out there as well as a possible flush.
He's got 2 pair and a problem.
Well, Vince, he saw Brandon check the flop, check the turn. Now all of a sudden he's going to bet on the river.
40.
So in my mind, Steve has to put him on a straight or a stone cold bluff.
Steve Sung, professional player.
Flop it.
He's a former burger flipper, believe it or not, Mike.
And you see his buddies in the audience, former WPT Player of the Year, J.C. Tran, and WPT champ Nam Lee out there rooting him on.
All right.
Well, he's going to make the call here.
Got a queen.
It's a curiosity call. Brandon shows him the straight. He's going to win the pot.
Figure you had that. Figure that's what you had.
So Steve Sung not happy with the way he played that pot.
The burger just burned right there for Steve Sung. And Brandon can do nothing wrong tonight.
And right now, Layla Cayley is standing by with Brandon Cantu's grandfather.
Over to you, Layla.
So, Ron, how does it feel right now to be watching your grandson play for $1 million?
Oh, I'm awfully nervous. I'm very proud of him. I did teach Brandon how to play when he was 8 years old.
Wow.
Now, all the other grandchildren, they want me to teach them how to play.
Right.
So
Thank you so much, Ron. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Well, you gotta love Gramps, you know, teaching this kid how to play. All right, back to the table. Bounty hunter Brandon Cantu with a pair of 7s. He's gonna make a raise. $35,000 to go.
He's got 2 7s on the button. Comes in the pot for $35,000.
Steve Sung out. Only one to beat is Jennifer. She's got a king-queen offsuit.
Pretty decent hand in the big blind, that's for sure. Gonna cost her another $25,000 to call here. And she may want to come over the top, but no, she opts to make the call. So once again, Jennifer and Brandon going at it. And there comes the flop. It's come Jack 9-6 with 2 clubs. Jennifer's flopped the gut shot straight draw. She checks. Brandon has the best hand with 2 7s. See what he's going to do.
Well, he's going to splash in 50 grand there.
Now let's see what Jennifer's going to do here. She's got the gut shot straight draw. She's got 2 overcards to the board.
If you make the turn call, you got to decide, okay, I make the turn call, he makes it big.
Look at Steve Sung has gone to the sidelines to get a little coaching from his buddy, WPT champion Nam Lee.
Well, Jennifer's called this with the inside straight draw. And the turn card is a deuce of hearts, not helping Jennifer. She checks again.
Well, if Brandon puts her on a drawing hand, he would bet these 2 sevens, but he's not sure, so he opts to check also. Now an ace comes on the river. Now Jennifer just has king high, remember. Brandon has the best hand with 2 sevens.
Yeah, nothing materializing for Jennifer Harmon, but she's got a bet nevertheless with zip and pip.
Betting 100,000 here. It's the only way she could give herself a chance to win this pot, Vince, is by betting on the river, because had she checked, I'm sure Brandon would have checked or bet, either one. He's going to win the pot. Right now, he's in a stew as to what to do.
Yes, and Brandon's poker face just melting before our very eyes.
Miss a draw?
You can see the aggravation of this great game.
I hope you missed the draw.
I did. Okay.
Well, he's made the call. He says, I think you missed the draw. He hit the nail right on the head right there. Brandon Cantu taking that pot down.
Good read.
And folks, that is playing some poker right there, analyzing the situation perfectly.
He's impressive. He's our chip leader. Stay tuned. We're coming back with the World Poker Tour in just a few moments.
Hello, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
No one to play with? So play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
You folded?
Can't get enough WPT?
Visit us online at WPT-on-GSN.com.
Welcome back to the final table of the Bay 101 Shooting Star. I'm Layla Cayley, and here's how the battle by the Bay has gone so far. With 6 players left as the night began, it was really more like 5 against 1. As chip leader Brandon Cantu came into the game on a roll and continued his streak by setting up tough pro John the Razor fan as Noah Jefferson moved in for the kill.
No card. Card dead.
The next exit was the most shocking of the night, as the lone amateur at the table stumbled directly into the sights of the unstoppable bounty hunter.
Just like that, Michael Baker out in 5th place.
Now it's 3 against 1 at the Bay 101 Shooting Star in the race for a WPT title and the $1 million first place prize. Will the charmed chip leader continue to outshine the competition, or can a local favorite, a determined young gun, or one of the game's best players turn out the lights on this star and capture the glory for themselves? And now back to our own shooting stars, Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten.
4 players remain going after $1 million here tonight. Out in front, Brandon Cantu, the 26-year-old with $5.4 million in chips.
Well, out in front is putting it mildly, Vince. Guy's got about 70% of the chips in play. Nobody else has 900,000. So right now, Brandon Cantu is the man here at this final table.
All right, back down to the table of dreams. Action on Noah Jefferson.
Those are the ones I wanted to come, so.
And lo and behold, he's going to raise with ace-7 of diamonds, going to make it 30,000.
Brandon Cantu looking at a jack-deuce offsuit. Now, he has to be very aware that Noah Jefferson has played very few pots here tonight, playing rather solid. Incredibly, he makes the call here with a jack-deuce offsuit. Steve Sung looks down at an 8-deuce offsuit.
Get rid of that mess. Second appearance for Steve Sung on the World Poker Tour. He's got a great poker face. And what is he thinking here, Mike? Some shenanigans, perhaps?
You look at Steve Sung. He looks like a gamer, doesn't he, Vince?
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a player's
player. He's got a great, intense poker face. You don't know what he's got. That's a poker face.
He is going to raise it here, make it 105,000 to go with an 8-deuce offsuit.
Jennifer Harmon taking a break. So it's back around to Noah.
This is a good poker play. Much more easy to make when a guy calls a small raise in the middle position than if you're playing just against one player. But this is an incredible play by Steve Sung here.
And Noah Jefferson wants to know how much he's got.
Now, Steve Sung making this play on the short stack at this final table.
310. Thank you.
That's what really makes this play even more impressive, at least so far. It's not going to be too impressive if somebody plays with him, though. can see Noah's got a tough decision as to what to do. He's going to lay it down. Brandon going out as well. So chalk that pot up to some savvy poker by Steve Sung.
Thank you.
And doing it on a short stack, raising like that over 100,000. That shows a lot of heart.
Well, he made that one happen. Beautifully done. He's been highly selective. Hasn't played a lot of pots, so that can work in that situation. He's very impressive. A great poker face. And he's come a long way since flipping burgers back in L.A.
Well, he hangs around with a lot of tough poker players, so obviously some of their knowledge rubbing off on him.
All right, back to the action. Brandon quickly folding, and it's back on Steve Sung. And this time with the button, he's got an 8-6 of hearts.
Well, he limps in and calls on the button.
And now Jennifer Harmon with a king-3 of clubs. She's going to raise it.
She suspects that a guy's trying to see a cheap flop when he limps in like this. She's exactly right.
Noah has gone out, so back around to Steve with just an 8-6 of hearts. But he's got the momentum of that last hand.
And Vince, I have a theory. If you can't raise it on the button in this situation, you shouldn't be calling the raise. But he is. So much for that theory.
So we got 8-6 of hearts up against king-3 of clubs.
Flop comes 7-7-6 with 2 clubs.
Action's going to be on Jennifer. She's 4-flush that flop.
Steve has made 7s and 6s.
And Jennifer Harmon, will she make the continuation bet? Yes, she does. She puts the money in, 60,000. What is Steve thinking? He's got 6s and 7s at this point.
Now, Vince, what he's thinking is she may have the 2 overcards and just be making a continuation bet.
Absolutely. That flop didn't look like it helped her.
Steve makes the minimum raise.
Very scary.
The scariest raise in poker is the minimum raise, and I say that because it looks like the guy makes a small bet because he wants you to call, when in fact it scares you because you feel like you might be getting reeled in here. So now let's see what Jennifer's going to do with the flush draw. Now she does make the call. Now the deuce of spade comes off.
Doesn't get her flush there. She checks it quickly.
Well, Steve checks right behind her. Going to give her the free draw here. And a 6 comes off. Steve has made a full house. He's got 6s full of 7s. Action is on Jennifer.
Yeah, nothing materializing for the little lady. And she's thinking in her mind that the only way she can win this pot is if she steals it, or you can just check it down and go away.
All right, she's got to put him on some type of hand.
Is Jennifer going to make a bad move and make a bet here? Oh,
well,
boy.
she is, Vince. She's betting 150,000. And Steve acts like he's got a migraine headache, even though he's got a full house here. He's just fearful that she's got a 7 in her hand and has 7s full. He's going to call.
You got it.
He's going to win the pot with 6s full.
Oh, what a bad card. Nice hand.
Steve Sung coming back, has a little momentum. 4 players remain going after $1 million. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action on the World Poker Tour.
First final table, I was kind of overwhelmed by the lights and everything. But in this tournament, now I'm just like, I don't really care anymore. I just want to win. Whatever it takes to win.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are down to 4 players at the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament.
And the antes and blinds are going up. Antes will be 2,000. The blinds will be 6 and 12,000. Cards being dealt. Action's going to the chip leader, Brandon Cantu.
Well, he has a dominating chip lead with over 5.4 million in chips. Second place right now is Steve Sung with just under 800,000. Noah Jefferson in third place with 673,000, and Jennifer Harmon on the short stack right now with 640,000.
Back to the action. Brandon has raised with just a 4-3. He's making it 42,000 to go. Steve Sung He's got a wired pair of threes here with the button.
Well, he's in position. Got a small pair. You always like to see flops with small pairs in hopes you flop that set where you can bust somebody. So Steve is going to make the call with the 2 threes. Now Jennifer Harmon is in the small blind. She looks down at the ace-7 of spades. 110,000 in the pot right now. Going to cost her 36,000 more to make the call. She knows Brandon could be raising on any 2 cards. Steve didn't come back over the top of her, so she might not put him on an ace.
I feel like John Pham.
Jennifer on the short stack here. Knows this might be a shot where she could get a hold of a lot of chips. Does she want to gamble here with the ace-7 of spades? Well, she makes the call.
And right behind her is Noah Jefferson, and he's got a wired pair of 8s here.
Has the best hand at the table.
Family pot.
When he says family pot, that means he's going to make the call.
Family pot.
So we're going to have 4-way action here. Everybody involved in a raised pot. Right now, Noah Jefferson out in front with the 2 8s.
I check blind.
Well, Jennifer checks blind, meaning it doesn't matter what comes out there. She checks. She actually has second pair and top kicker. Noah has her beat with 2 8s, but he also checks.
And Brandon checks. They all check.
Brandon made bottom pair 2 4s. Now a 6 comes off.
Gives an open-ended straight draw now to Noah Jefferson.
Along with his 2 8s, but the action's on Jennifer and Vince because they all checked it around. She's got to think 2 7s with an ace kicker is the best hand right now. And she's going to bet. That's 80,000, but Noah, without hesitation, has moved all in. He's got the 2 8s, what's known as blockers in the poker world.
Brandon out as well as Steve Sung, so it's back around to Jennifer. Awfully big raise to call.
Well, she did not like this guy moving all in on her, Vince. I don't believe there's any way she can make this call with second pair.
And she can't do it.
Well, she goes out. So Noah Jefferson takes down that pot with a bold, big all-in bet. And Vince, he made that move. Even if somebody had flopped a set, he knows he had outs to win that pot. Just thought he could pick it up right there. And indeed, that was the case after he moved all in.
Well, Noah Jefferson, interesting guy, 33 years old, and he was going to law school in San Francisco. He took a leave of absence to play a little poker, and he never returned to college. Okay, back to this hand. Brandon Cantu in the small blind with a 10-3 of diamonds. He's going to raise it, make it 42,000 to go.
I'm just going to try to pressure Steve Sung out of the pot, but may not happen as Steve looks down and finds an ace-10. Now, against some players who raise it, you're not crazy about that hand. But against Brandon Cantu, who seemingly plays about every pot, you got to like this hand.
Yep, he's called it. Here's the flop.
Now, Steve likes this flop. He's got top pair and a straight draw.
Well, action's on Brandon first.
Well, Brandon has the gut shot straight draw. He's going to lead out and bet 60,000 here. Steve Sung contemplating what to do. How do you play against this aggressive player? Well, he's just going to call him here. I doubt Brandon likes that. Now the 9 of spade comes on the turn. Action back on Brandon.
150.
He's going to fire another shell. Bets 150,000 here. Let's see what Steve Sung's going to do now. He's got top pair and a straight draw, but still a lot of hands that could beat him. Vince, against an aggressive player like Brandon, would you call in this situation? Do you think he might fire a third shell on the river? Would you raise to try to shut him out of the pot? Well, he's made the call here.
Yep, not going over the top, just calling.
Well, you know, Brandon's not crazy about that.
All right.
Now the 7 of hearts comes on the river. So potential flush out there now, as well as potential straight.
Nothing hitting for Brandon.
Well, will he continue to fire?
No,
he's going to check. Steve quickly turns up his hand. He's going to win this pot with 2 aces. And Brandon Cantu, perhaps not happy because he didn't fire another shell at that pot. Try to represent the flush on the river. Brandon getting up and leaving the table.
All right, maybe he needs to get some air and take a break after losing that hand. And we're going to take a break too, but we're coming right back with more big-time action at the Bay 101 right after this.
Want more WPT? Follow all the action behind the scenes with me, Kimberly Lansing, at WPT on GSN.com.
Go back to the Bay 101 shooting star from San Jose, California. 4 players remain. They're going after that $1 million first place prize.
Yes, he said 4 players, even though you only see 3 sitting at the table. That's because Brandon Cantu has apparently not taken a short break like we just did. He's taken a long one. He's still gone. And in tournament poker, play continues. They ante you off and blind you off if you're not at the table, but certainly you're allowed to walk around.
But let's get back to the table. Jennifer Harmon is going to raise with her ace-queen, moves it up to $40,000. And now Noah Jefferson also going out with king-4. So Jennifer going to take that pot down.
Let's blind him down. Come on, let's go. Let's blind him down.
But they're all curious about where the chip leader is.
Blind him down. Hurry up, deal.
There you heard Jennifer Harmon. She says, deal fast. Let's blind him down a little bit there. We got a chance to beat this guy if he's not here.
Well, the thing is, the blinds are so small still, 6 and 12,000. He could actually let them all compete, wait till they knock each other out, come back, still have a ton of chips. I like the strategy.
He's still away.
They have dealt and actions on Steve Sung. He quickly folds.
He took her advice. He folded quickly.
Jennifer Harmon now at 7-6 off suit.
She makes it 40,000 to go.
Right behind it, Noah Jefferson with ace-5.
I know I was the best hand this time.
But he goes out.
You probably did.
Probably did, but it doesn't matter.
I had the best hand.
He says he knows he has the best hand. Indeed, he did. That's the case. I don't understand why he wasn't raising there to pick up that pot.
I'm still here.
He lays it down and just gives it up to Jennifer.
That was about laid down.
Vince, if somebody on the button raises it, I believe you have to play the ace highs. You just can't give those kind of hands up and expect to do well in the long run.
Jennifer pickpocketing that pot. When the chip leader is away, the lady will play.
Time to make a comeback now. I had to regroup just a little bit. Add a little drama.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the alert is over for our chip leader, Brandon Cantu. The bounty hunter, he has been spotted.
Anything happened since I've been going?
He's actually watching TV in the back, watching these other players play.
Well, actually enjoying the show like the folks at home, Vince. Why not?
Okay, and the screams are coming because Brandon is re-entering the room. He's finished his walkabout.
We only played 20 hands when you were gone.
Yeah?
Tried to get him as fast as we could.
Almost blinded me out.
He did a smart thing. Got a little angry with himself about how he played a hand. Takes a sabbatical. Sits back down. To the dislike of Jennifer Harmon, who is starting to mow over the table when Brandon had left. Brandon, by far the most aggressive player at the table. Will he take over once again?
Well, he looks down at a queen-6 offsuit. It's going to be good enough for him, it looks like, Vince. Unbelievable. He raises yet again.
Just does not care what he has. He's going to raise it. He could be in a little trouble here because look at this. Steve Sung right behind him with 2 cowboys, pair of kings.
Well, definitely going to be in trouble here. Action is on. Steve Sung, he just calls. I'm not happy about this play, Vince. And I say that because when you call in this position, you entice the blinds to come into the pot and create multi-way action. When you have a big pair, you don't want multi-way action. You want to focus and be limited just to one opponent.
Well, he's trying to play it sneaky, but Noah Jefferson with a pair of 9s wired, just calling as well.
So here we go. 3-way action. All the guys playing this pot.
So we got 2 big pairs here up against queen-6. Here's the flop.
Oh, and look at this.
Oh, man.
Brandon has flopped 3 6s. He now is in the lead.
That's right. Noah quickly checking.
Now, Vince, we're going to see some fireworks here from somebody. Just can't imagine these guys getting away from these hands. 2 kings, 2 9s with a flop like that.
Show tune's going off in his head right now.
Brandon bet 75,000. Steve Sung thinks for a moment and then just calls. Does not raise with the 2 kings here.
Nope. Now it's on Noah. And he's got his 9s. He thinks he's out in front. He's re-raising this.
Well, he's bet about 300,000 here with the 2 9s. And ironically, both players have him beat.
Catastrophic situation here for a couple players. Now, how do you milk the Holstein properly if you're Brandon Cantu? Do you raise now? You just call?
How much is it? 300?
300. Yeah.
He's just going to call. Back on Steve. Now, Steve might be thinking to himself, I blew it. I should have raised. Maybe one of these guys has to have a 6. That's what he's thinking.
Wow.
He's going to muck.
Well, Vince, that laydown was part because he didn't raise it before the flop. Discuss it with himself. He's fearful Noah has made 3 6s, when in fact, Brandon is the guy with the 3 6s. Well, an ace comes off.
That could be a scare card there for Noah Jefferson. That could save him some money. He's checked it.
Well, Brandon checks right behind him. Here comes the river card, the 10 of spade. Well, again, Noah checks the 2 9s. See what Brandon's going to do now with the 3 6s.
I'm all in.
Well, Brandon says he's all in. The dealer flips him the all-in button. But in truth, he's only betting about $500,000-600,000 because that's all Noah has left. And Noah now faced with a very tough decision as to what to do.
Well, let's face it, Noah Jefferson's arc has just sunk. And if you want to make it worse, you're going to stick out that $500,000 in there and say goodnight.
Wow. His mom, Meg, Dad, Mac, poker pro Michael Benger in the crowd, all nervously awaiting Noah's decision.
That's a tough hand, Brandon. Tough decision.
Noah Jefferson, 33 years old, with the decision of his poker career.
I honestly think you have a 6. That's kind of sick.
Look at this, and he says, I think you have a 6. He's going to make a great laydown. Very good.
So the all-in bet by Brandon wins that pot for him.
You didn't have an ace, right?
No, I didn't have an ace.
With like 2 9s? Brandon, what did you have?
I don't know.
From the Bay 101 Casino, one of these lucky players is about to shoot the moon to the tune of $1 million. Don't go away.
Don't just watch the WPT. Come and play the WPT.
Yeah, log on to WPTOnGSN.com. Well, the poker continues at the Bay 101 Shooting Star. $1 million going to our champion here tonight. Who's it going to be? We're down to 4 players.
Well, we're now playing for the big bucks, as they say. The next one out is going to take home $265,000. Our third place finisher will get $330,000. The runner-up gets $585,000. And, of course, the winner takes home that cool $1 million and a $25,000 entry into the WPT World Championship.
And this event started with 376 players. Down to these 4. Jennifer Harmon, our last bounty left, has raised the pot with ace-jack, making it $40,000 to go right here.
And Noah Jefferson has picked up big slick, a big hand for this guy.
Oh, boy.
Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to come right over the top. He splashes a lot of chips out there. Makes it $130,000.
The bounty boy, Brandon Cantu, with a 4-5. Nope.
And he hates to give up any pot, but he does fold here, as does Steve.
More than anything.
And look how quickly Jennifer jettisons the ace-jack. Just gives this guy respect as he deserves. Always got the goods when he comes over the top.
I don't like that hand.
You have a 4-hand that you can't fold it.
What a good laydown by Jennifer there with the ace-jack. She's on the short stack right now at this table, but desperately wants to capture a WPT title tonight. See if she can come back to do it.
Blinds and antes are up. Blinds are going to be 8 and 16,000. Back to this hand. Steve Sung quickly folding, and now Jennifer with just an 8-4 of diamonds.
Man, she doesn't have that many chips where anybody's going to be afraid of her.
45.
So she's going to raise, trying to take advantage of her position, but with her chip count, may be tough for her to do.
Right behind her, Noah Jefferson with a pair of 10s has re-raised. That's the bounty hunter, Brandon, looking at his stack because he's got a pair of deuces.
600.
Oh, 640, I think.
I'm all in.
And he says all in.
Wow. Jennifer flies away.
Let me count. Let me count and see what I have.
Back around to Noah. What a great place he'd be in if he makes this call.
Well, Vince, he couldn't have his opponent in a more dominating position, pair over pair. Wow.
Well, you got a razor. That was Jennifer. And then you raised. So you got a razor on a razor and on a razor. So he's thinking to himself, this guy have ace-king suited? Does he have a big overpair?
Well, you have to give him credit for something, Vince.
Yes,
as you said, he moved over the top of 2 razors. So at worst, I'm sure Noah thinks he's got ace-king or ace-queen suited, where he'll be in a race situation.
It sucks, man. It's such a bad spot.
He's in a bad spot. In fact, he couldn't be in a better spot. And he's glancing over at Jennifer's chip stack.
Racing with money in the pot, 2 short stacks. I fold.
Oh, wow. He's going to make a fold here.
Trying to analyze, we're racing and blah, 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 blah. Well, Vince, if Noah Jefferson doesn't go on and win this tournament, he could very well look right back here at this hand and say, why didn't I call the guy with the 2 10s?
But he is playing the financial strategy. He looked over at Jennifer, said, gee, she's on a real short stack. I can outlast her. The difference between fourth and third, about $65,000 of real cash. At the very worst, you're picking up more money. If you play a little more conservatively, will it come back to haunt him?
Well, perhaps that's exactly what Brandon was thinking when he made that all-in play with the 2 deuces.
Well, he has $5.7 million in chips. He's in first chip position. And Jennifer on the short stack with $244,000. This time she's not going to monkey around with a junk hand. Folds it.
And Noah again picks up a premium hand. This time ace king of diamonds. Hard to believe this guy's chip stack is going down when he's catching these kind of hands.
Well, he's made it $110,000. Brandon has gone out. And now Steve Sung, yeah, he's got a pair of sevens here.
How much you got left, Noah?
What's that?
How much you got left?
This is how much have you got left?
I'm all in.
Call.
Steve has gone all in. A quick call by Noah Jefferson.
Well, Steve Sung has him covered. So if Noah Jefferson loses this pot, he'll be out of here in 4th place. And Vince, this hand could very well demonstrate how important the last pot was. Had Noah played that hand and won it, he'd have had $1.74 million in chips right now, meaning he could have played this pot and lost it and still had $800,000 in chips or so. Now, if he loses this pot, he's going to be out of here in 4th place.
And there you see Noah's family sweating it out on the rail.
Well, in the meantime, it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's musta right now for Noah Jefferson. He must win this pot to stay alive.
7 with 2 diamonds. Jack 10 of diamonds and a 7 of clubs.
2 professionals trying to survive here at the Bay 101. Here's the flop.
Well, flop comes Jack 5-3. Noah Jefferson's going to have to catch an ace or a king to take the lead. He could hit 2 running cards to make a low straight or a high straight, but he's going to have help if he's going to survive and play longer in this tournament.
Okay, here comes the turn card.
Well, a great card for Steve Sung there as the 9 of clubs comes off. So no potential straight out there. Noah Jefferson must catch an ace or a king on the river. That's the only thing that will help him stay alive in this tournament.
Noah, if you win the pot, don't chirp, please.
Last card coming up.
It's a 7. Steve Sung has made 3 sevens to win that pot. So Steve Sung hits the slot machine and takes down a nice pot to eliminate Noah Jefferson from this tournament.
A big effort by Noah Jefferson. Going to take home $265,000. 3 players remain at the Bay 101 Shooting Star. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour.
I want to be one of those ones who win a WPT championship title. In Bobby's room, there's like so many people that have won one, so many people that haven't. Ming La, he won one. Doyle, Barry, Phil, Eli, those are the ones that won one. Chao Jiang, Patrick, Antonius, Lau Berman, and Johnny Chan hasn't won one. Those are basically the regulars, so they mean a lot. I really want to win one.
Welcome back to the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament. We are down to 3 players, 3 tough pro players fighting it out for that $1 million first place prize. The problem for 2 of them, though, is that the third party has about 80% of the chips. That's Brandon Cantu.
He is the bounty hunter. He's knocked out so many bounties in this event. There's one left of the table. That's Jennifer Harmon. All right, action's on Brandon. This time with a Jack 10 in his hand.
Raise.
And he loves to raise, and he's going to.
And he makes it $100,000 to go with the Jack 10 on the button.
Steve going out. Jennifer looks down and sees the ace of clubs. And Mike, she did not even look at her other card there.
Well, Vince, she's short stacked. She's probably decided that she's going all in with any ace.
That's right, and there she goes. She's moved all in.
Didn't figure to pick up that many better hands than this in a 3-handed poker game.
And Brandon is going to call it.
Well, you can't blame him. Getting 3-to-1 odds on his money.
Jennifer's mystery card is an 8 of hearts.
And here we go. Jennifer out in front with the ace high. She's got ace 8. Brandon has Jack 10. Well, Jennifer Harmon trying to become the second lady in consecutive weeks to win out here on the World Poker Tour.
Do the Jack over here.
Well, she's got to win this pot to stay alive in this tournament.
I'll watch it with you guys.
Well, everybody on their feet, anxiously awaiting the flop. Here it comes. Let's come queen, 8-7. Jennifer has made a pair of 8s.
Wow, that's interesting.
She's still out in front. Her opponent now has a gut shot straight draw. So right now, Brandon looking for a jack, a 10, or a 9. A jack or a 10 would give him the lead. A 9 would end it for Jennifer Harmon.
Jennifer to the rail.
She can't look, Vince.
No, she can't even look.
There she is, over getting hugs from the crowd. Her husband, Marco, home with the kids, babysitting the twins, while she's up here making money.
Here comes the turn card.
Well, a 6 comes off, so we are down to the river. Brandon must catch a jack, a 10, or a 9 to eliminate Jennifer Harmon and collect his 6th bounty of this tournament. Will it be a jack, 10, or a 9? No, a 4 comes up. Jennifer Harmon high-fives the crowd. She is still in this thing. Jennifer all smiles as she lives on. I'll tell you, it's just fun to see Jennifer enjoying herself so much playing poker here.
Hey, I'm still in.
Well, she's doubled up on the short stack, but she's got a long way to go to topple the bounty boy, Brandon Cantu. That's going to be some task.
So Jennifer Harmon's fans very excited.
Yes, and antes are going up to 3,000. The blinds are going up to 10 and 20,000. Back to the table. It's going to be on Jennifer.
Well, Jennifer looks down at a queen 10 offsuit. She's on the button. She just won the last pot. She's played her button very aggressively all night long. But here she just limps in on the button, just makes the call with the queen 10.
That is 20,000.
See what Brandon's going to do.
Bounce to the wrong end.
Well, he looks down at one of those hands. You know he wants to see a flop with the 8-6 of diamonds.
I bet.
He's going to make the call.
And now Steve Sung with the lousy-looking 9-3 offsuit.
Well, he was just happy to get a free flop here. And he's going to hope for lightning.
Sure.
So here we go, a family pot, 3-way action. Well, here comes that flop. Let's come ace-jack-9 with 2 spades. Action's on Brandon, and he checks.
They both check. Both guys check into Jennifer, who's open-ended straight draw. Will she fire?
Well, you'd think she'd bet this, Vince. And she is going to. Bets 50,000. Well, Brandon contemplating making a move, but opts to lay his hand down. Round to Steve Sung. Look at this, Vince. He's reaching for chips. He's going to make the call. Just doesn't believe Jennifer's got an ace in her hand because she didn't raise before the flop. So the question is whether she's got a jack or a 9 or not. Well, the 4 hearts comes off.
Well, and Steve Sung has quickly checked it.
And Jennifer checks right behind him. Now the 7 of hearts comes off. So Steve's still out in front with the 2 9s. He checks.
Both check.
That's good.
So Steve Sung getting lucky there that nobody raised before the flop and that Jennifer didn't keep firing. Takes down that pot with 2 9s.
Jennifer dribbling away there. We are down to 3 players at the Bay 101. We're coming back with more action in just a few moments.
I'm OCD, ADD, every single thing. I have to perfectly align the chips perfectly. I can't stand my chips not being perfectly aligned when I raise. It drives me crazy. I can't eat a lot of food because my mind tells me not to eat it. So I eat beef, but I don't eat ground beef. If beef is sliced small, like little pieces, I throw up. There's something going on with me, but I'm fine with the way I am.
So the Bay 101 Shooting Star continues. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton. 3 players remain. They're going after a very prestigious title and $1 million here, Mike.
Well, you're right about that. But Brandon Cantu well out in front right now.
Yeah, he's got about 5.8. Steve Sung with 1-4. Jennifer Harmon with a very short stack. And this time she's picked up ace-king.
Well, she's just moving all in with it, Vince. Not going to fool around. Betting 300 and some thousand right here with the ace-king.
I'm all in.
But Brandon behind it with a pair of 9 says all in.
Well, I don't like this play by Brandon. As you can see, Steve Sung rubbing his hands together. In case he picks up a big duke here, he could double up himself. Well, he is looking for a big pair here, but obviously doesn't get it with a 5 deuce. Well, here we go. The classic race situation. The ace-king for Jennifer. The 2 9s for Brandon.
Goes over to a Poker Pals.
We saw our 4th place finisher, Noah Jefferson, go out with an ace-king of diamonds. We've got the same kind of race situation again. Could Jennifer Harmon follow him out the door with the same hand at Big Slick?
And I tell you right now, Jennifer Harmon would love to have a big hit here.
Here comes the flop. Jennifer awaiting the crowd reaction to see if she hit it or not. And she does. up as well. It's come King Jack 9 with 2 clubs. And for Jennifer Harmon to win this pot now, she's got to catch 2 running cards. Got to come King, King, Ace, Ace, Jack, Jack, or Queen 10. The next card must be an ace, a king, a queen, or a jack for her to have any chance to win this pot, or a 10.
And Jennifer's holding up her bounty shirt.
I could still suck out.
Saying maybe you'll get this, maybe you won't. She's teasing him.
Well, the 4 hearts comes off. That's going to do it. Jennifer had to have a big card to have any hope to win this pot. It didn't happen. So that's going to do it for our last bounty left in this tournament. Jennifer Harmon going to go out in 3rd place. And incredibly, Brandon Cantu collects his 6th bounty in this tournament. That's the all-time record for bounties at the Shooting Star Tournament. Jennifer clapping for all her fans. She played terrific poker all week long. Just not quite enough gas to cross the finish line with the title tonight.
Well, she's going to take home $330,000 back to Vegas. A great effort by Jennifer Harmon.
Brandon wants her to autograph the shirt that he just busted her on. There you see Tournament Director Matt Savage counting out the dough for him. He's collected $30,000 in bounty money. $10,000 for being the chip leader at the end of day 1. That's $40,000. If he goes on to win this tournament, he can pick up another $1 million and another $25,000 entry into the WPT World Championship event.
Right now, Layla Cayley is standing by with Brandon Cantu.
Over to you, Layla.
Brandon, you are 1 person away from winning $1 million. Do you have butterflies right now or what?
I actually don't. I'm all right now. We've been playing for so long that the butterflies are a little bit past me.
What would it mean to you to win this WPT title and the $1 million? I know you're pretty chill, but inside I think there's something going on.
I want it so bad. I want the million so bad you don't even understand. It's so hard to get to this point. I know I've done it so many times. I know how hard it is to get to this point, and I want it so bad.
We are down to 2 players at the Bay 101. Heads-up action about to begin. The true testosterone test. But first, our money presentation.
Well, as is the custom on the World Poker Tour, when we get down to heads-up play, we have our money presentation. So show us the money. We got plenty of entertainment to go along with this money presentation.
Here come the lovely ladies with the cash.
Here comes our own Kimberly Lansing breaking out the customized WPT chip set. The winner gets that as well. And there you see the dancing dragon in the background.
Kimberly, beware of that dragon.
So it's all on the line right now for these 2 guys, both vying for their first WPT title.
What a spectacle we're seeing up here in the Bay Area. Put the children to bed.
The drums and the cymbals and the dancing dragon. How do you beat it? Wow! Oh, what a show here at the Bay 101 tonight.
So there we have it. The heads-up action about to begin. 2 players going after $1 million. Stay with us. We're coming back with a start in just a moment here on the World Poker Tour.
Is he bluffing? I think he's trying to bluff me here. I bet that ace hit. What is he thinking? What is he trying? When the ace came off on 4th Street, he played with his chips 13 to 1, 12 to 1, 16 to 4 to 1, 8 to 2. Makes my 2 pair good. Unless I'm drawing dead. I like my chances. I'm all in. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
Visit the World Poker Tour online at WPT on GSN.com. You might even see me there. Check it out.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Heads-up battle about to begin. The ultimate testosterone test.
Brandon Cantu well out in front right now. The bounty hunter, nicknamed that because he's collected 6 bounties in this tournament, has $6.1 million in chips. Steve Sung with almost $1.4 million. So over a 4-to-1 chip lead by Brandon Cantu, who's dominated this tournament all week long. Action on Steve Sung right now. Has an ace-9 offsuit, but he's just going to call on the button here, Vince.
Yeah, he's going to try to play it a little tricky. Brandon has raised with a pair of jacks. Steve's going to call it. Here's the flop.
Let's come 8-7-6 with 2 clubs. Brandon out in front with the 2 jacks. Steve Sung with the opening straight draw now. Action's on Brandon. And he's reaching for chips.
200.
He's going to bet $200,000. Let's see what Steve Sung is going to do now. Here's the problem, though. If you make the call for $200,000, if a 5 or a 10 comes off, will you get any more action out of your opponent?
His pack of buddies, J.C. Tran, Player of the Year on the WPT, Nam Lee, chit-chatting about their guy. He's just going to call it.
Well, he does make the call with the open-end straight draw. Now the ace comes off. The dream card for Steve Sung right there. He now has the best hand with 2 aces plus the open-end straight draw. Well, action is on Brandon, and he checks.
Steve Sung didn't raise before the flop, so his deceptiveness might be paying off here. Oh, he's going to check it as well. I'm very surprised at that.
Oh, and a jack comes off. Brandon Cantu has made 3 jacks. Well, Steve gave his opponent a free card, and it has burned him as Brandon Cantu has made 3 jacks on the river. He has the best hand, and he's never going away from this pot.
Well, you know, now he's going to try to figure out how to extricate the maximum amount from Steve Sung. Just milk that Holstein as much as you can.
500.
And that's the increment he wants.
Call.
And a quick call by Steve Sung. He has outsmarted himself. He's in pain right now.
He made 2 aces on the turn. He checked it on the turn, gave his opponent the free card.
Well, Steve Sung absolutely did that to himself. I mean, this is a great poker player, but there, he just completely muffs that. You got to bet on the turn when you hit that kind of card.
Brandon, the bounty hunter Cantu, taking one more giant step closer to taking down his first WPT title.
Welcome back to the Bay 101 shooting star from San Jose, California. Heads-up action will continue. The true test of courage. And right now it's Brandon Cantu. He is the Godzilla at the table. The big stack, the Pamela Anderson, out in front with $7 million.
Well, Vince, he's been the Godzilla all week long in this tournament. He was the chip leader at the end of day 1. The big chip leader at this final table and has not relinquished the lead. Has just continued to widen it ever since this final table started. Let's see if he can take the title.
Steve Sung with about $500,000. It's on him. He's got King 5 this time, and he's going to raise with the King high.
He makes it 60,000 to go.
60.
Let's see what the top monkey does. Brandon Cantu.
He's got a Jack 9 offsuit. Got 20,000 out there. He's going to make the call for 40,000 more. So here we go. Steve Sung out in front right now with the King high. Here comes a flop. Oh, it's come King Queen 9. So Steve Sung has flopped top pair. Brandon has flopped bottom pair in a straight draw. And he checks.
Steve with the Kings. Don't outsmart yourself. No, he's going to bet 100,000.
I'm all in.
But Brandon's coming over the top with just the 9, says all in.
Vince, I just can't believe that Steve Sung would throw away top pair in this situation. I mean, if the guy's got a straight or queens and 9s, good luck to him. He just doesn't have that many chips.
All right, call.
He makes
the
right
does
call.
Make the call. Well, here we go. This could do it. Steve Sung out in front right now. In pretty good shape to double up. About a 2-to-1 favorite as the cards lie to do so. Brandon Cantu up against it right now. Steve Sung out in front with top pair. Brandon looking to catch a jack, a 10, or a 9.
He's one card away from $1 million. The young 26-year-old out of Vancouver, Washington, now living in Vegas with a big opportunity. Will he get it here?
Oh, the 8 of clubs comes off.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
This gives Brandon a flush draw as well as a straight draw, so more outs for him. So he can win the pot now with a jack, a 10, a 9, or a club.
He is so close to becoming a WPT poker-made millionaire.
Well, Vince, he's got to have some help, but he's got a lot of outs to do it, as we say. Steve Sung holding his breath in hopes he can hold his man off.
River card coming up.
He's got to dodge a jack, 10, a 9, or a club. Can he do it? That's 6 hearts. There you go. Steve Sung survives. He doubles up. And he sits back down at the table. Brandon, coming out of the crowd, knows he's got more work to do to take down this title.
What's he at?
Well, a nice pot for Steve Sung there. Nearly $1 million in it. So it won't take but another 2 double-ups before he'll have the chip lead at this final table.
Let's go right back at him. Action is on Brandon with the button, and he's got a pair of 4s this time.
Well, any pair in a heads-up situation is a good hand.
How about 850?
And he's going to raise it. Makes it 80,000 to go.
Okay, let's take a look at Steve Sung's hand. Well, he's also got a pair, little wire pair of threes.
I'm all in.
All in.
I call.
He's gone all in and quickly been called by Brandon Cantu. And there you see the sick look on Steve Sung's face because he sees he is dominated in the worst position possible for him. It's pair over pair, and things looking very bleak for Steve Sung right now.
Holding his cards.
What if I slow rolled you here? Would you be pissed?
He's going to need a lot of luck with his threes.
Well, Brandon, the bounty hunter Cantu, may never have a better shot to take down a WPT title than he does right now. He's about a 4-1 favorite to win this pot and take down his first WPT title.
And Brandon going up into the stands again to his friends, to the mosh pit, to Granddaddy, the guy that taught him how to play. A huge opportunity for Brandon. 5 cards to come. Let's take a look.
Everybody anxiously awaiting the flop. Steve Sung going to have to get very lucky to stay alive in this tournament. Well, it's come ace, 9, 7 with 2 hearts.
Pair the board.
So Brandon well out in front with the 2 4s. Now notice if the board pairs twice, this would be a split pot.
Pair the board.
And I'm sure right now Steve Sung would love to split this pot.
Yeah.
Because he's going to need a 3 to win it.
He is desperate right now.
Well, a 6 comes off. So we are down to the river card. Steve Sung must catch one of 2 3s left in the deck to stay alive in this tournament. His chances right now are very slim.
Brandon Cantu 1 card away from taking home his title and becoming a WPT Poker Made millionaire. Will he do it right now? Yes, he does.
Well, the 8 of spades comes off, so that's going to do it. Brandon, the bounty hunter, Cantu has done events. He's gone wire to wire at this final table to win this tournament in a walk.
Oh, man, he is in the mosh pit of poker players. You got to enjoy it. $1 million richer. He's a WPT champion.
Take your hat off to this guy, folks. He played a magnificent tournament tonight. Champion of the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament from Las Vegas, Nevada, Brandon Cantu. For Vince Van Patten, Layla Cayley, Kimberly Lansing, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters.